Hello. It's me again. I hope everybody's having a good weekend. What's today? Today's Saturday, so hopefully everyone had a good, safe Friday night. If you have plans for tonight, I hope everyone is safe. Um, I decided to make another video. This one is going to be very specific. It's related to an experience that I just had last night, and it was so surreal. So I was like, okay, that's content I can share. So anyway, I went out last night. I had a really good time, and over the course of my night, I went to like four different places. I started at one place, went to another, was supposed to go home. A friend of mine called and said, hey, why don't you stop by this other place? Stop by there. Saw someone else, and they were like, hey, why don't you come over here with me to hit this place? So I went over there. So four places, and finally I get to this last place. And the friend that invited me decided to kind of go hang out with people who they knew but that I didn't know, and we kind of separated. So I'm just kind of minding my own business. Kind of towards the end of the night, it's got to be at least like midnight by now, and I'm exhausted, but I'm like sitting in the corner of this place by myself, like texting and on Facebook on my phone. And this guy, I look up, and this guy and his friend are like across from me at a bar, and they're like talking to each other, but they're looking at me, and like I can see them kind of like raising their glasses up in my direction. And so anyway, it just got to be kind of weird because I was like, okay, I don't want to be paranoid, but like I'm pretty sure they're pointing at me. I'm pretty sure they're talking about me. So anyway, they eventually start moving a little bit closer, and one of the guys reaches his hand out to me, and he says, what's your name? So I reached my hand out and shook his hand, and I introduced myself, and we started talking. Very interesting, like, intro. He's from out of state. He came here for some business ventures, and, just kind of just the legitimate spiel of I'm not somebody wasting my time, which is pretty legitimate right about now for those people who are working and not wasting their time. So we move on in the conversation, and then it's time to leave. So in like kind of the spur of the moment, we decide to go outside and talk, and we're kind of separated in our attempts to get outside. And so by the time I figured out where this person was, they were already outside. And so anyway, I observed them with another female, and I'm not dating, so I'm not comfortable yet just being in that scene or environment. So naturally, if anything even looks skeptical to me, I just walk away. But this time I decided, like, what's there to be skeptical about? Like, I don't even know him. So, I just want to leave it open for interpretation. So I just interpreted as he was having a conversation with another person, because that's really all that was happening. I didn't have any facts at the time. And so anyway, he made his way over to me, and we talked some more. And then I was going to go, kind of to a different space. So we were in front of this place, and I didn't really want to be there anymore. So I'm like, okay, well, if you want to continue this conversation, meet me across the street. So, so he meets me across the street, and we talk a little bit more, and we decide we want to talk away from his friends and the crowd of people that we were standing around. So we take a little walk, and while we're walking, I'm thinking to myself, wow, he's so great, all these wonderful things. Naturally, people are going to, market themselves, especially guys, when they meet, someone for the first time. So I'm just really impressed by him and with things that he has said so far. And I always tell myself when I first meet someone, I don't have any reason to not trust them until they give me a reason, or to not believe them until they give me a reason. So parts of our conversation, from the place that we started at to us going outside, just going across the street, bits and pieces of that conversation included, are you single? Are you seeing anyone? How long have you been here? What are your plans or purposes? Are you interested in relationships? Stuff like that. Do you have kids? Have you ever been married before? Blah, blah, blah. So he said that he was single, no kids, never been married, and that he's interested in dating someone. So I'm like, okay, great. And so fast forward to this walk that we're having. His phone is ringing, and he's like, I need to answer this phone. Please excuse the call. And I'm just like, blah, 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 talking, whatever. And he's like, he repeats it. He's like, I need to answer this call. I'm so sorry, but, please excuse me. And I'm like, oh, okay. That's my cue to shut up because I'm always blabbing. And so anyway, he kind of starts walking slower. And I hear him say, hey, babe. No, I was just getting ready to call you. Yeah, I'm still lost in the casino, and I can't find my friend so and so. And he's like, no, I would never lie to you. I'm telling you, we're at this casino, we're having a good time, everything's fine. I'll be home. I thought I was gonna be home already, but it's gonna be a couple more hours. And I can hear this woman on the other side of the phone crying and like yelling at the top of her lungs at this guy. So I'm like, another asshole who is prowling around trying to find something in the middle of the night when he has somebody waiting for him at home. So I've already decided in my mind, like, okay, this night's over. I don't want to see him anymore. That was pretty much it. So we spent a little bit more time after he got off the phone, and I said, I'm going to give you an opportunity to be honest, since you didn't take the opportunity before, and really you don't deserve another one, but I'm going to give you one anyway. And, if there was any one thing that you could be truly honest with me about that you were not in our previous conversations, like an hour before this, what would you fix and say? And he's like, well, I'm kind of sort of in a relationship. I'm like, okay, well, I'm pretty sure she would beg to differ. And he's like, yeah. And I'm like, what would she say? And he says, she would say that she's my wife. And I was like, mind you, this guy's only like 33. So I'm like, okay, clearly, married guy syndrome. I'm like, something's not right in the relationship. But that has nothing to do with me. Like, I didn't ask to be lied to. I didn't ask to be let on. Now I'm irritated. So I'm like, it was really nice meeting you. I'm just gonna go. And he was like, no, I want you. And I'm like, first thing that came to my mind, because I'm a goof, is the movie Stranger Than Fiction, when Harold is with the chick that he really likes, and he starts telling her, I want you, and she's like, you want me? So I like had this moment, and I'm like, you want me? Are we in a movie? And he's like, I want you really bad. He's like, I'm not gonna lie. And he's like, I'll do whatever you need me to do. Just don't leave me. And I'm like, what the heck just happened? Like, I swear, no part of the conversation did I ever mention being with you or taking you anywhere. We were just introducing ourselves, like normal conversation. He told me the story of his life, which people usually do, but that was great too. Like, I appreciate when people do that. So anyway, he's like, don't leave me, don't leave me. And that does something to me, which he was unaware of. I think maybe he was testing the waters to see how I would respond to that. So of course I had to put my guards up because I'm like, whoa, that's a place I just can't go with him. And as selfish as most women that I unfortunately have heard say and admit that being desired by a man is enough reason to, cheat on your spouse, um, that's just not me. Like, I've never felt that compelled to be unfaithful. Like, if you don't feel love, compassion, desire for the person that you're with, why are you with them? To me, it's like, if you want to be in a different relationship or with someone else, then that's what you need to do. It's so irresponsible. It's just immature to me that you would want to have your cake and eat it too when it's not your birthday. In fact, you just had a birthday, but you still want cake and everything. And so I was just like really annoyed. Like, I've been in this woman's shoes before. I've been on the other, side of the phone crying and trying to understand why someone, chose to be unfaithful or dishonest. And it's heartbreaking and it's horrifying. And I mean, she like hung up on him at one point and then she called him back and she's still screaming and yelling. And the entire time he's talking to her, but he's looking at me and he's saying, like, and I'm just like, wow, what an asshole. Like, I'm so sorry, but wow, this woman is on the other line, like, or on the line with you, pouring her heart out. Like, she knows that you're not at the casino. She's going down this list of the reasons why she knows you're not at the casino. And that she called your friend, and that they said that they were somewhere else, and blah, 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 blah. Just going on and on and on. You said you were going to be home 3 hours ago, and I've been waiting for you all this time. And it was just, like, heartbreaking. And I was like, what is up with guys? Like, why do they do stuff like that? I just don't even know that I would even accept the answer if there was one. But in particular, men that are in committed relationships, it's like I just don't get it. Like, if you're so unhappy and if it's not working, then why don't you have, the balls to say, even though this is going to hurt me or hurt you, it's still what's best. Because we all know it hurts to separate from somebody we love or once loved. And so, like, yeah, but in order for you to get involved with someone else and to express or experience love with them, you can't be over in the other corner still. Like, that doesn't work. And so, like, clearly he wasn't interested in her leaving him because he's, like, begging and pleading with her, telling her it's okay, stop yelling, nothing's going on, he's going to be home. And yet he's still following me. And I'm like, I just want to, like, say to her, like, run as fast and as far. This guy is not worth it. He's clearly a cheater. But she's going to make her own decisions. She didn't need me, getting involved. But anyway, even after I would, like, cut him off and was like, have a good night. It was nice meeting you. But clearly you've been dishonest with me. And I just don't have time for that. And you really shouldn't be doing that. And I'm not going to help you, ruin somebody else's life. And so, anyway, I was so bummed because, that first part of the hour, or the first hour before the phone call came, like, he really had me there mentally, that he was responsible, caring, and gave me all these different examples of his character, and kind of showed himself and the type of work that he does, the kind of friends that he keeps, the kind of business that he's in, the kind of woman that he's looking for. And it's like, wow, it's like a script. Like, men know what to say, and based on what they say, which is usually the same thing that the next guy is going to say, they're all each looking for a different answer or response. Some guys want to hear that, a woman just doesn't care, she doesn't give a whatever. Like, she'll go with you right now, tonight, and you just met like 5 minutes ago. Other men want to hear that there's some hesitation. They want to know that they're going to have to work hard to get you. And I just have been so unlucky in meeting men that are genuinely single, first of all, and interested in dating one person. And I mean, I don't know if that's too much to ask, but it's what I want. Like, and I'm not gonna settle for some guy that's having problems in his relationship, and in the meantime, I'm doing all this work to try and repair him, and in reality, I'm making it worse, and I'm hurting myself and the other person, and I'm contributing to this part of our society that's really sick. This mental illness of being irresponsible and creating these cycles of hurt and turmoil and pain and heartache and tragedy that are so unnecessary, breaking up homes and, making people less and less emotionally healthy. It's just sick to me. So anyway, I was just really, like, disappointed in that whole, like, experience, and it was just, like, really reminding me, like, how important it is for me to take my time, because I get so excited when I meet people who share similar interests as me, which is rare. And then I'm the kind of person that, like, when I'm looking for something, the very first thing that I find that fits that description, I want it and I'm done. I don't want to keep looking. I don't want to keep searching. I don't want to keep researching or, whatever. I found it. I want it. It's mine. Once I realize, oh, but there are other issues, strings attached, or things that I don't want coming with it, then it's like back to the drawing board, and that's frustrating. So what can I do? So I've been listening to Jimi Hendrix like all day, and I just need to find like someone who, A, fits the things that I'm looking for, but also someone that I can kind of see through. Like I kind of want to meet someone that's a little more just transparent, where there aren't those issues happening and they're not covering things up, or there's no, sad sob story about whatever, that they're free of those things. I mean, and then we can move forward. Like if somebody really doesn't have a girlfriend or a wife, or really does have a job and takes care of themselves, then as we move forward, those things don't come up like, oh, I thought you said you had a car. Oh, you don't? Then we're catching oh, I'm driving up? Like, I don't have to go through that. I'm nice. Like, I don't mind hanging out with people, and if I give someone a ride, like, that's my choice, but I'm not going to go into a relationship with someone knowing that they're not even at my level. Like, that just doesn't work. So anyway, that was my experience. It was just so disappointing, but I was like, it's okay, because I think I helped teach him a lesson too. That no, I'm not gonna go home with you or hang out with you or befriend you or talk to you, knowing that this is what's happening with you. Like I wouldn't have gone home with him anyway, first time meeting him. However, we probably would have hung out longer, and spent some more time talking. But I was just really, annoyed and disappointed that he went that route, and he could have just been like nice and been a friend and never tried to do the whole let's spend some extra time like talking about relationships or dating or the whole I want you thing. We could have just been friends, and he could have been late going home and she would have still been mad, but there wouldn't have been that extra element of him being, unfaithful and betraying her behind her back like that. It's like, how do you really think I see you now if you're going to do that to her? Like, yeah, I'm a smart woman, so I make those comparisons, and I don't want to be with someone who's going to carry out a relationship behind their woman's back if I desire to be that person's woman. I don't want that happening to me, and I'm not going to do that to someone. So we need to be on the same page about that, and it's just so hard. Like, I feel like I get in the way sometimes when I have male friends if they're dating someone, and, I'm very just comfortable with, like, boundaries and just telling people, like, the truth. Like, this is what I bring to the table. These are the things that I'm interested in, developing with you. However, if those are not things you're interested in, or if you're in a different place where you can't provide these things that I'm asking of you, or meet me halfway, sometimes it's not even worth the friendship. And I hate to say that, but that's how I feel. So, I don't know. I'm just like on the fence now, but we'll see what happens. I mean, I'm not gonna like give up or whatever, but I just had to share that with you guys. So anyway, I hope you guys are having a good weekend, like I said, and I think I'm done for the weekend, honestly. Like I just overstimulated by that one thing, and I just kind of like taking time to reflect after stuff like that happens. I love when people are trying to get a hold of me. Anyway, and so yeah, I'm just gonna hang out, watch some anime, make some fried rice, drink some chai tea, do my thing. So anyway, talk to you later. Love, peace, and olive oil.